If you are between 60 and 70 years old, I want you to really hear my words, because this might be one of the most important messages you will ever listen to. The truth is simple. You don't have as much time as you think. Every morning you wake up, there is a little less sand in the hourglass. That is not something to fear. It is something to honor. It means the time you have now is the most valuable time of your entire life. You have no time left to waste on regrets. No time to waste replaying old arguments in your mind. No time to keep chasing after approval from people who will never give it. And no time to let bitterness take root in your heart. I have sat by the side of many dying people. Some smiled softly and held my hand. Others looked at me with fear in their eyes, clinging to the bedsheets. I realized something after seeing this again and again. The difference was never in how long they lived. The difference was in how they lived the years they had. Let me share a parable the Buddha once told. There was a man who owned a piece of land. In his youth, he planted seeds everywhere, but he was too busy to water them. When storms came, he didn't protect them. When weeds grew, he didn't pull them. At the end of his life, he walked through his field and saw mostly weeds with only a few flowers. He cried, "Why didn't I take care of my garden?" Your life, my friend, is that garden. In your final years, you must tend to it with care. This is the season to pull the weeds of anger, fear, and resentment, and to water the flowers of compassion, joy, and gratitude. When I was younger, I visited a small fishing village. There, I met an old woman in her 70s. Her hands were rough from decades of work, and her back was bent from carrying heavy baskets. But her face shone with peace. She told me, "I used to be angry because my life was hard, but then I realized my anger didn't make the work lighter. When I began to accept life as it was, even my pain felt different." She had found what the Buddha calls upekkha, equanimity, the calm acceptance of life's changing tides. I know that for many of you, the body is changing in ways you wish it wouldn't. Your joints ache. Your eyesight isn't the same. You move slower. This can be frustrating, but I want you to think of a tree in winter. The tree does not curse its bare branches. It rests, knowing that its beauty is still there, even without leaves. Your worth is not in what you can do physically. Your worth is in the wisdom you carry, the kindness you give, and the love you share. Now, I must speak about something many people avoid: death. The Buddha told us that the wise reflect on death daily, not to live in fear, but to live more fully. Imagine you are walking along a river, and you know you must cross it someday. If you deny it, the crossing will terrify you. But if you accept it, you can spend your walk enjoying the flowers, the sky, and the friends who walk with you. One of my teachers once told me, the purpose of life is not to avoid death, but to prepare the mind so that death loses its power to frighten us. This preparation is not about religion, rituals, or beliefs. It is about living each day so that when the end comes, you have nothing left unsaid, no kindness left unspoken, no forgiveness left undone. Speaking of forgiveness, let me share another story. A man once came to the Buddha, trembling with anger. "I cannot forgive my brother," he said. "He stole from me, and my heart burns with hatred." The Buddha asked him, "If someone gives you a gift and you refuse to accept it, to whom does the gift belong?" The man replied, "To the one who offered it." The Buddha smiled and said, "Then why do you accept the gift of his wrongdoing by holding on to it? Put it down, and it will no longer be yours to carry." Forgiveness is not weakness. Forgiveness is freedom. At your age, carrying old grudges is like carrying a sack of stones uphill. it only makes the climb harder. And yes, we must talk about the practical side of life too. Money, security, and peace of mind. In Buddhism, we speak of right livelihood. At this stage, it is not about chasing wealth. It is about ensuring that what you have is enough for your needs and letting go of the restless hunger for more. I have met people with very little money who sleep peacefully, and wealthy people who toss and turn in fear of losing it all. True security is found in contentment. The more you simplify, the richer you feel. Now, let's talk about relationships. Loneliness is a shadow that follows many older people, but it does not have to be your shadow. In the Buddhist path, community, the Sangha, is one of the three jewels. Humans are like logs in a fire. Together they burn brightly. Apart they fade. Seek out connections, even small ones. Call your grandchildren not to lecture them, but to listen. Invite a neighbor for tea. Share your stories, but also listen to theirs. In giving attention, you receive warmth. Let me tell you about Mr. Howard, a man I met in a small American town. He was 82 and lived alone. Every morning, he sat on his porch and waved to the children walking to school. Over the years, those children grew up and began stopping by to check on him, bring him meals, and sit for a chat. When I asked him why they cared so much, he said, "Because I made myself part of their mornings. I gave what I had, a smile." Never underestimate the power of small kindnesses. And remember, it is never too late to learn something new. The mind stays alive when it is curious. Try reading about a topic you never explored, learn a few words of a new language, paint, sing, or plant flowers. The Buddha encouraged a beginner's mind, seeing the world fresh, without the heavy lens of judgment. You may not run marathons now, but you can still open doors in your mind. Most importantly, stop postponing joy. If you want to watch the sunrise at the beach, go. If you want to apologize to someone, call today. If you want to eat your favorite meal, don't wait for a special occasion. Being alive is the occasion. One day, you will take your last breath. But if you live now with awareness, with compassion, with forgiveness, with curiosity, that last breath will not be a thief. It will be the gentle closing of a chapter you are fully awake to read. So today, begin. Begin with one small step. Breathe deeply and tell yourself, I am still here. I am still alive. And I choose to live these years with a peaceful heart. If this message has touched you, I invite you to stay close to this community. Subscribe to this channel so we can keep walking this path together. Share your thoughts in the comments. Your story might be the light someone else needs. And if you know someone between 60 and 70 who needs to hear this, share this video with them today. Every moment counts. Let us make these moments beautiful together.